How many of you are hungover right now? I'm not. I've been awake all night long. All night long, all night. It's probably the first year was like that. That I probably got up around 10 o'clock. My sleep schedule has been very much a little bit of going to sleep in the daylight hours. Not because I'm a vampire or anything like that. Definitely not a vampire. I like the sun. Something about the night, being alive during the night, and also my super sensitivity to the solar cycle. The lighting is crap. I get that, but it's not going to stop me from making the video. All right. The first thing I'll talk about is how can somebody predict, and I'm not even looking at the news yet, there's going to be a bunch of crime wave news, bunch of news regarding assaults, violence, things of that nature. It's because of the solar cycle. Okay. It's the way that humans, ordinary humans that don't even know anything about the solar cycle, whether or not they know the science of the sun or they believe the earth is round or flat, doesn't mean anything. The fact of the matter is we are of energy. We are of a substance that may be created by the sun, like the whole elemental table of physics, the whole 9 yards, the sun, the sun, the sun. The sun is a bigger influence than anything that we were ever told. I believe that in this matrix of illusion of mind control, that it is the intention of the controllers to keep us in the dark regarding energy. And Sufi Realities, Neurojohn gets this. I'll upload his recent video with some music and images somebody made with AI art on the other channels. You can take a look at it. The future of this channel is going to be a mixture of free flow, and possibly I'll start to cover more news in the form of shorts. Okay? Possibly. But the idea of making a short to me is very alien. Whoa. No offense. I want to turn over a new leaf and stop insulting my audience for watching me on a cell phone. But I find it to be really alien. That's all. Very insectoid. The whole texting. I'm a very meat and potato. Give me a laptop. I'm a real man. I type like this, not like this. Real men type like this. In fact, I need to get an external keyboard for the book that I'm going to write. And I'm going to rant and rave. I'm going to take the ideas that I've got that are just the lightning in my brain and transfer it. This heavy bag stuff I've got going on, the working out, I want to transfer this gym energy to writing a book. Okay? So we're going to talk later today. I'm probably going to keep this video under 13 minutes. So this is more of a caveat for what's coming later in the day. I want to thank you, by the way, for the 11 likes. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be back with more. And we'll cover the crazy shit that went on overnight. But I felt it. And I feel a number of different things, from increased sexual desire to increased aggression, increased irritability, but also increased psychic abilities, where certain people, I'm not going to mention who specifically, there may be certain telepathic communication with, say, certain people who maybe I don't know, but know of, or are in proximity to me physically, or maybe someone on the internet. I've had dreams where certain audience members were basically coming at me in the dream realm, and I'm trying to interpret in my own life, is that just my own subconscious, something a psychiatrist would say, oh, that's your subconscious taking your fears and creating a scenario. Or it could be the psychic awareness of that other person who's into the dark arts doing something occultic to access my energy on the astral plane. And as someone that speaks about paranormal issues, yes, I deal with those icky energies. And so we will talk later tonight, my friends. And thank you for your likes. Thank you for positive energy about the things that happened. Yes, the internet can, and AI, make it seem, so be on guard, that things are worse than they actually are. And we'll talk about that a little bit. But it is very important for you and I to keep our ear to the ground when we hear these news reports. We're like, we have not seen this in 40 years. And in the last couple of years, whether it be local news, national news, or international news, there are things happening now that have not been seen. So get ready for 2025. Am I predicting the end of the world? No. And you know that. I told you that. But I'm not going to guarantee you that this Titanic will continue. And there are people that do that on the internet. The age of Aquarius. I mean, there are too many modern New Agers on YouTube that are too popular. They're talking about the frequencies, the shift. And they're still in that old world way of polarity. Awake society, not awake society. Not enlightened. And it doesn't really work that way. There are cycles of the sun, and there's certain periods. Let's get back to the sexual influence. This is what people need to understand, especially parents. Whoever or whatever made us. And you may not agree with this. This is theoretical. We don't really know. That's where religion comes in. But at present, whether it's programming, humans are hyper carnal, and it seems, however it happened, and I'm trying to be inclusive to people that don't believe in aliens, but there's some sort of a predicament. I have a non-alien explanation for the obsession with kink, and it's the pollution of the earth. It's concrete. It's destroying and raping the earth. So thus humans rape each other. Okay. The alien worldview is that they manipulate our DNA to make us want giants. Mark Passio talks about that, and I've been promising for you for months to show you another man's interpretation that the giant worship is an alien program. Okay. And it's obvious to me now that it isn't really about the woman being safe, because if that's the case, she would be into a guy into hand-to-hand martial arts and combat and not being disgusted by it. And I've really seen in the real world, working out the gym, that it isn't something that is attractive in the modern day and age of the cell phone users. People that are, not tall enough to ride the ride, things you already heard me talk about a million times. And I also speak directly to people that have the programming within them in my audience. And really, there is the power in you statements, and there is the power in abstaining from you statements so that people can absorb my spiritual teachings without being offended. And that's basically how the evil one will manipulate you, everybody, by causing people to become offended at the wrong things, and the things that you should be offended by, you're not. The things that I should be offended by, in some cases, I wasn't. Our standards for who we bed down with should be higher. Always remember that. And I want you to know that I struggle. I struggle with what is really right under God, not nature, because I don't worship nature. Nature has a dark, rapey tone to it. And so just because some things seem natural, ooga jaka, ooga booga, ooga jaka, it doesn't mean that God approves of what we've done here. So I see, just so you know, we are collectively a bastardized form of life that has no compassion. With the compassionate gene pool, oh, bye-bye. No, I think maybe the 3 viewers here are serious students, serious people, serious observers. And for people that want me to be entertaining, I'll explore entertainment at Valis Entertainment Studios. Listen, I'm a nerd at heart, but you know what? I'm into nerdy things that are good, and I'm into nerdy chicks, book chicks with glasses, chicks that read, chicks that like knowledge, chicks that like the awesome stuff about the old world, chicks that like empowered women. And I refuse to believe that all the world, although unless the simulation that I am in is a worse hell than I understand. And we'll just leave it at that. I'll speak in code. And I'll be doing more of that because I see myself as being intelligent enough, bright enough to speak in a way to wake more people up if I just cut out the flat of some of the things that some people will consider toxic. Because some people need that Dr. Feel Good. It's just the nature of humanity. On that note, humanity does tend to pay more attention to doomsday porn or threats to safety than positive news or positive videos. But it's been encouraged of me to make more videos mentioning the positive news headlines that are out there. And so there was a recent story that I covered regarding a dog that found its way home. And the positive thing about that would be a dog being conscious enough to connect with a human being. And in some ways, people do connect more with animals because humans show themselves to be incapable of unconditional love. But in some cases, a lot of modern women, for example, and maybe some men may prefer an animal over a human companion because they like to keep a form of life, as a pet rather than someone that may talk back when that pet is starved or treated with gross disrespect. So keep that in mind. Some people that are super pet people that hate humans like pets because they can't really talk back when they're being controlled. And some humans really are just vampires. They have a pet over here, a pet over here, a pet over here, and they're feeding on that animal energy, or that animal energy is healing them. From a psychic perspective, partial psychic, I see humans using animals for energy healing, even if they don't speak of the topic of energy healing. The cat, the dog, the this, the that, they are capable of a lot of healing. So thus, some humans may be parasiting on the animals, which explains why there's extreme brutality of some animals and children when you have, you guessed it, demonic jinn possessed human beings. And that's what's happening right now, as Sufi Reality says. We have basically portals already through the internet that exist. You don't need necessarily new technologies. They already exist. And so when the sun is active, these portals are open, and someone could become attacked by demonic entities through the phone. So I want you to understand something. And I should have wrote more about this, but there needs to be a third solar book with simple language as well as scientific facts, a mix. You see a yin and a yang. I believe that there is like a spiritual attack, a jinn force that comes out of the sun and invades Earth, or somehow the energy, stay with me here, of the solar charge, the X-class solar flare, on the planetary K index 5, 6, or 7. In fact, my ex-girlfriend doesn't watch this content when she's into aliens. Really tells you and me a lot about her programming. That suspicious observers is viewed as superior to me when he does not cover aliens, and she's into that. And that's so crazy that so many people that are into the alien question don't get the solar flare reality, that when the sun explodes, we are invaded on Earth by evil spirits. How many videos do I need to make to explain this to you? By the way, thank you for those of you that are going to come later and like the video. And so the news is this right now, folks, that 2025 is a new generation. You may have heard terminology in the past, Generation Z, Generation X. I told you 10, 15, 20 times that with this influx of solar energy, there's a lot of fucking going on. For the first time in my life, I wanted to have a child this summer. People thought I lost my mind and insulted me that claimed to be long-time viewers. Even one guy that claims to be Muslim, yet he supports the Taliban. So I don't actually believe he's Muslim. Ha, nice try, buddy. But to be attacked and to be kicked in the stomach by a lot of men that watch my channel, including people that I talk to personally, for wanting to go out and find love. So I'll chalk up that deep, deep desire for human intimacy from the solar influence. But for people that are not spiritual, that don't have the hindsight to realize that we're not entitled to sex, we're not entitled to have babies, and maybe we should not have babies, because I think that there's a plan for those babies in 2045. I've told you now 4 times. I've alluded to it. I've gone 2045. And in that period, we'll have already crossed through several solar cycles. And you might want to quote me on this. I'm not predicting that we're going to have the invasion of America in 2025. But I am predicting that. Oh, yeah, baby. But will it be now or will it be later? Like the candy bar, now or later? And I'm telling you that it really seems that we're in the danger zone, the red zone, no pun intended, that events may likely begin that can lead to, we've already seen now, U.S. versus Russia in Ukraine. We've already seen now the events in Taiwan with China doing drills on a regular basis. We're so numb to it now. Now they're doing drills in Alaska and we're numb to it now. Now there's stories about jets crashing and hitting each other up in aerospace. We're becoming numb to it now. Now we have all these stories about drone wars. We're seeing robot wars on like the Discovery Channel. Remember that show? Now it's fucking drone wars and shit, and the robots can take it over like the fucking Matrix. They brought us the Matrix. They brought up the Terminator, and all this shit's coming about. Okay? So through the next solar cycle, 2035, after 2030, during the solar minimum. And remember what I told you about solar minimum. They push through things that normally people would protest And then sometimes they promote certain things like the George Floyd situation when they want the people to protest, to make the protest a political thing, left versus right. Even when they have the whole thing rigged to be for Biden or Trump, whatever the case may be, or Harris, whatever the case may be, they will still create camps and then manipulate them with social media using what they call foreign actors to do their dirty work. China and Russia doing the dirty work of the deep state, shadow government, Illuminati. Deep state is not my traditional language, but I'll try to use it to be inclusive to anybody that may be conditioned by that language. I'm telling you that for a guy who has retained aspects of his youth, with the exception of my hairline or bald spot, I am old school. I am OG. I'm going to take this moment to talk to you about our sponsor, Peak State, coffee with benefits, brain sustain, focus, and energy support with lion's mane and quadriceps. Good for your biceps too. Check it out now at the Alex Answer Store, alexanswerstore.com. I'm joking, folks. I have not gotten there, but I want to be a businessman. I want to sell t-shirts, and I want to just make t-shirts for myself to wear at the gym. Yeah, I've been worrying about China for 20 years. What, or shall I say, who have you been doing? Here's another one. Only a demon would be obsessed on someone's height and race, where it's an angel interested in the nature of someone's soul. Or so, that's probably too many words, and maybe I need to break it up front, back. But I'm telling you, for many, many years now, I've had these business ideas. This coffee with benefits, everything seems to be about sex now. I see a lot of people also with the logo of the sun and the mountain and the land together. And so there's a lot of aspects of our world in which people use logos to promote their businesses on their t-shirts. But if you actually try to talk to someone, like one older woman had a shirt with a tree on it at Kroger. And I'm like, hi, can I give you my card? I talk about the sun. No. Full moon? No. Well, fuck. So to a lot of people, I guess a term a lot of people have used is LARPing. We have like an epidemic of LARPers at different dimensional levels of our reality. Again, I like to brag about my maca powder. It'll get you real horny like a goat. It's just the reality of it. Maca powder. I didn't know that. Just type in maca powder into YouTube. And Dr. Berg is an interesting guy. It's almost too much for me. And then, of course, my mother sent me the collagen. So she paid me off this year. I talked a lot of crap. She's like, oh, man, I got to do something. This guy's out of control. And then I got one of these. Maybe Bruce Nagel told her to get me this. Saffron, ashwagandha. It's got like 7 different things in it. So I just want to brag about that. I got this for $3, heart health support. So as long as I stay away from the canola oil that I like to fry my potatoes in, I should be okay. My heart is feeling better. I'm doing at least 10 minutes of cardio, at least every other day, step machine. And today I did 20 sets of chest, so 4 sets per exercise. And so I'm building on the endurance, building on the strength, and then trying to continue to, what I really could use is maybe a book on bodybuilding, martial arts, spirituality, because what I'm trying to conjure up with these activities, with the solar cycle, is a powerful fusion force forward. And 2025 is the most important year of my fucking life. Now, do you know how long I've been talking about this year? And do you know how long I've been thinking about where I would be at the age of 44 and 45 and what the world would be like and the things that I predicted? And am I living the life that I predicted? Not exactly. And are we close to the red sky? And can you have visions of the future as a child without actually being alive to witness those things? For example, visions of this, senses of this, and could the Chinese-Russian invasion be actually out further than I think? But the fact of the matter is this. Let's get back to 2025. There is the possibility that there's going to be a spiritual renaissance. I don't want to sound new agey, but I'm going to say this. What would be a way to send people in the wrong direction, to do a turn in the punch bowl? It would be to manipulate people in the 70s and 80s about a fake shift of all shifts when it really was early. And really, instead of those being angels or ascended angels, more like demons that were leading women to temptation and men to temptation and evil. I think there was a lot of that with the solar activity in 1972. course, the CIA and the drugs and whatnot. No. Modern viral conspiracy theories do not really explain the true nature of how they manipulated our society to the point that it is. That is only a partial explanation. And I always thought, thank you for the first like, I was waiting for that. I always thought that they did everything through 1967 in San Francisco when listen, there's shitloads of people that went on from that period in time and did awesome things, wrote books and had kids and were deep intellectuals. And there probably are some decent people in Berkeley. What I'm saying is there are aspects of conspiracy theory don't exactly explain the totality. What I see since Roswell and the 70s is an alien invasion into our society and planet, riding the coattails of what? The solar cycle. Please, I'm speaking here. Silence your cell phone when I'm doing a podcast. I mean it. No, that's my own phone. I'm using my phone right now to stream. Now, I can't use that phone to stream, okay, and use that free government EBT data for the greatest good. Whereas other people, they're using their phones to kidnap people and do things. And I showed you at Substack. Go check it out, Substack, those posts. I want to thank the new member, Guitar Man, for signing up. I now have 12 members. Okay. Even my mother has a free pass. And if you really like me and you're broke and you want a free pass to the members area, you can email me and request it, but I won't twist your arm, jiu-jitsu style, MMA style, and make you want it. You have to really want it. So I'm going to check this out with my creamer in a little bit. And I'm going to be back, Jack, with the news. This is just the opening act. I have to come to a close now. But the close is this. I have mixed feelings by being right about predicting the baby boom. A bunch of people fucking at once because of what? Solar flares. Now tell me, honey, who else have you listened to? I know. Who else? I can give you one name other than me that can tell you who led me on the path, didn't even buy his books. I just heard him on Coast to Coast. You can literally listen to a guest on Coast to Coast, have an epiphany grow inside your mind and go, oh my God, I've got to download this guy. He's fucking brilliant. And then be off to the races without even fucking reading his book. That was my experience with the one and only Maurice Cotterell of Coast to Coast AM. It's the best of Coast to Coast AM. He was probably on with Art Bell, OG. Maurice Cotterell was all about the solar cycle, and not so much the wars as much, but I'm sure he mentioned it, but the fertility cycle, the healthy female egg and sperm, the baby's born and the miscarriages, the fall and rise of civilization, population, baby, and droughts from the Maya to this. That man is deep. And I already have my slides published for you on the websites or places where my Facebook page is down. I could repost some things. There's always otbtv.net, but that website's on its way out. I need to build a new website. What I'm saying is this. I have put out the call for volunteers. I am one man, and I really would love to work one day with 10 people. If somebody out there is watching me from a distance, wondering what I'm about, what I want, how they can help me, I'd love to be able to direct people and make documentaries. And I am operating at a very fast level, but I'm so ADHD and admit it, that my energy is all over the place. So I'm going to continue to make these videos. 2025 is a baby boom year, and it's because of strong sexual energy that came in, and it's that unfortunate fact of our physical world that some females end up trafficked and kidnapped and walked over the head by men that lose composure. And because humanity doesn't have an understanding of the strong libido solar connection, but the primal ooga booga in the demonic realm, oh, they get it. But humans, they don't. And why is that? I believe that there is a direct conspiracy to keep people in the dark about the solar effects, or at least for me in this lifetime so far, to experience success. I've already been on national radio, and the people that listen to me on national radio and maybe came to this channel, they, to the best of my knowledge, it is a silent audience. I don't have very many viewers. But because the shadow banning, I don't yet see that my ideas have really woken people up, despite the 3,000 people that listened to the recent upload this month on this channel. Now, I want to tell you that this channel has, in the history of the view counts, 3,333,000 viewers. Okay, and so if we look at older videos where I would say the content is not as high quality, videos in which I'm crying, videos in which I'm screaming, we can see like hundreds to thousands of view counts. And right now, I think there's a lot of videos that I've done where I'm very calm, very collected, very few likes, very few view counts. So I would challenge you, if you have any psychological disturbances, to reevaluate the real reason why some viewers or channels have very few view counts. Educate yourself about shadow banning, and that verbiage, shadow banning, does not even really do justice the real paranormal penetration and interference going on the internet. I really do think that what really is going on with the control of information, keeping people small and surveilling them, is greater than anything that you'll ever know. Furthermore, that a lot of these screens that are out there, as you've heard for years, are two-way. Okay. I want to thank those of you for listening. We've been at this for 25 minutes for 2025. Again, 2025 is the year of the baby boom today on national news. And I told you before it was news, right? This is the real before it was news.com. It's right here. Congratulations. You found the channel.